Hello, what's up everybody? Hope you are all doing very well and welcome back to another video of a 10-minute update. I apologize for not giving you an update yesterday. It was a very cataclysmic event yesterday, reaching the all-time high and followed by a 15% drop. So I figured I'd wait for the dust to settle and then we jump into a discussion about what happened. So jumping into the Bitcoin halving period, which is occurring in about 40 something plus days near April 20 or something. I can't remember the exact date. What we know is that a rally was very likely to occur. And this year, it's been very different than comparing it to previous halving years, where this year we're moving in a much further and faster type of progress. We hit the all-time high already. Actually, we made a new all-time high by only a few dollars, and then after we hit it, there was a likelihood of us dropping to the downside, but there was also a possibility of us flying through it as well. Not that high of a chance, but nevertheless there was a possibility of that occurring. And because of that reason, I decided to hold on to all of my positions. I didn't sell any of my positions because I believe that even if there was a 20 or 30% chance to smash this all-time high and continue, I didn't want to risk selling and then it goes to the upside and then you have to buy back at a higher price. Many traders believe that, for example, they can catch and time the market. So they think that, hey, this is a local top and I'm going to sell my positions or some of it and then buy back at a cheaper price. A lot of newer traders and investors make this mistake in a bull market. And what often happens instead is there's very little retracement or not a retracement at all. And it leaves them no opportunity or time to actually get back into the market. And then the price ends up spiking to the upside, it smashes the resistance, and these people end up buying in at a higher price. That's very detrimental to your long-term portfolio. So you have to really think about that. And there's a major risk to selling your position and hoping to buy back at a cheaper price. To me, I find that very greedy. I used to do that back then where I would try to time every major top, every major bottom. But then I realized that it's better to play the long-term cycle of when Bitcoin officially tops out. And that's likely indicated by perhaps a period of 500 or 550 days after the Bitcoin halving. For example, in 2016 and in 2020, we had major bull markets after the Bitcoin halving event, which lasted between 525 to 540 days. So I believe that this halving event will likely be a catalyst for another 500-day rally or 550-day rally as well. So sometime near September and October is a very good time to consider taking your profit next year if you are considering a time analysis. Another consideration is taking your Bitcoin or crypto profits whenever Bitcoin reaches a specific price that you're happy with. For example, my price would be anywhere above $150,000. Other indicators you can use to time the top would be things such as the pie market. What is it called again? The pie market top indicator or pie cycle top indicator. That's what it's called. It's been very common. I keep mispronouncing it because it's not an indicator you talk about all the time. It only gets brought up near an all-time high. So those are some of the factors that would help us determine when to sell. So I believe that it's important to not sell prematurely. So we reached an all-time high yesterday and there was a massive drop here. Okay, this ended up dropping about 15%. My portfolio ended up getting destroyed where it dropped about 7 figures. But thankfully today it actually recovered about $680,000. So I'm very happy about that. And some coins like Polkadot, which are heavy on my portfolio, they ended up recovering substantially as well. You can see coins like Polkadot recovering over 25%. Coins like Algorand heavily recovering over 20% as well. So if you were lucky enough to buy at the bottom of this dip, congratulations. Now, we don't know if there will be further drops or if we're going to hover here for a longer period of time. But what we do know is that there's going to be a very heavy accumulation period for, I would say, anywhere from the halving period plus 2 months. That's going to be a very strong time to be getting into crypto, to be accumulating heavily, because time is running out. I don't know if people are aware of this, but it's very time sensitive. Unfortunately, many people come in during this frenzy event, during the stage 3 event, and that can lead to catastrophe because you're now chasing at a price point that's a lot higher, which has more risk. There's a lot less risk when you buy any altcoin or crypto in general at a much lower price, because the chances of it reaching a higher ROI is greater than when it's already in the middle. So it's important to consider that the halving period is here. After every single halving event, we have always had a major rally leading to the all-time high. In 2016 to the all-time high in 2017, it did a 30 ROI on Bitcoin. And then from 2020 to the all-time high in 2021, we ended up doing about a 7 ROI. So even with diminishing returns of, say, 3, for example, where if Bitcoin finished around $70,000 at the Bitcoin halving event, and we had an ROI of 3 leading up to the all-time high, that's still an easy $200,000 that we could reach. So let's take a look at one other thing here, and we're going to take a look at my scanning indicator. This is my advanced volatility and range scanner. And what it does is it hunts for volatility and a support at the same time. And this has replaced entirely the method that I use for scanning, which was usually a manual scan and also using the crypto pair screener on TradingView. So what this does is it highlights, I have every single coin here on Binance, all 260 coins. And now there's 4 columns, the 5-minute, the 15, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. So these would light up green. It would highlight green like you see over here if any of these conditions are met on any of the time frame. So it would highlight green if, for example, it moves 8% within 2 hours. That's on the 5-minute time frame. Or if it moves 15% within 6 hours, that's on the 15-minute time frame. Or if it moves 20% within 24 hours, that's on the 1 hour time frame. And the fourth one actually scans for a support. It's looking for something that trends above 4-hour chandelier exit indicator over 4 days and within 5% range of the CE. So this one here is looking for support on the chandelier exit. And as you see, there's not a single coin that's actually held above the 4-hour CE. Nothing is lighting up green on the 4-hour. But what this does show is that there's very slim pickings today. There's only 2 coins that have moved a substantial amount, and that's MTL. MTL has moved 39.91% in 24 hours. Uni has moved 20.19% in 24 hours, and also WIF has moved 24% in the past 24 hours. So there's only 3 coins to trade right now, which is not the best choice to trade, because sometimes you want to have a big sample pool or a big selection pool, because then you can filter through all of them and choose the ones that have the best scenario to trade. Whereas today, if you're stuck with only 3 coins, perhaps all 3 of them are not going to have the ideal conditions to trade, and you're going to be forced to settle with less than ideal conditions. So this scanning indicator of mine, it indicates immediately that the market is incredibly horrible. So not many coins to trade today. Another major indication that's going to tell me personally if there's a lot of coins to trade is my alerts channel. I've developed an alerts channel that gives me a balance between high confirmation and volatility. So it's going to alert me if there's a coin that has a combination of, for example, high volatility and also confirmation to trade. And because the alerts channel is barely going off, like if you look at it, for example, yesterday, okay? Like if you looked at it yesterday, you see massive alerts going off in the morning. 7 in the morning, tons of alerts. These are all buy signals, by the way. These are the buy signals that people want. You can see so many going off on the 15-minute time frame. But if you actually take a look at my alerts today, what you're seeing is that they come up every few hours, actually, and maybe only 1 or 2 come up. So when I combine my alert system of telling me what are good picks, there's really not many coins to trade today. And especially if I combine it with my volatility scanner as well, there's nothing to trade. So because Bitcoin ended up dropping 15%, it's incredibly wise to just maybe take a seat back for now, perhaps buy more if you choose to, because this is a very good opportunity very close to the halving event. So to summarize, what you missed yesterday was a gigantic drop of 15%. The entire market cap ended up falling down substantially yesterday, which we'll take a look at very quickly here for you. So we see that the entire market cap took a dump yesterday. It fell down about 15%, but then it recovered about 14%, which is great. The altcoin market minus Bitcoin fell down and rose right back up to the same levels that it's at. And then we take a look at total 3, which is the entire market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So basically all the altcoins minus Ethereum and Bitcoins. So this here almost rolls back to where it is. The total 2 counts Ethereum, and the most likely reason it got back up to exactly where it is because of the spot ETF possibility approval for Ethereum, and Ethereum is still rallying. So we're almost back up to where we were. If we compare it to before the drop began yesterday, we're looking at a drop of about 2.7% in the entire market cap. And Bitcoin's dominance is slowly diminishing. It's definitely hovering and wondering how long it could stay above and close to 54%. So to summarize, Bitcoin dropped 15%. The market cap ended up dropping huge but recovered. Altcoin market cap dropped huge as well. Altcoins also dropped huge and have not made a full recovery yet. And we might hover around this range for about another month before we see any type of major volatility, because we're closer to the halving event, and usually a 2-month accumulation period occurs after the halving period. So the best advice that I can give you is to, first of all, hit the like and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you enjoy these updates, let me know. I'm doing a good job. And other than that, guys, have yourselves a great day and just sit back and chill. We've got about a month to go, a little bit more than a month before the halving event, and I know for a fact that it's going to be a really good 2024 year. So stay patient and stay caught up to date by watching my 10-minute daily updates. Bye now.